Everyone. I wanted to talk today about the process of finding your calling, because this is the process that I am going through right now. And there have been so many different directions of which I could see myself going. I am such a diverse person that I just feel like it's like this. I've always been a list person, so I felt like I needed to see it in black and white to just sort of help me navigate it, because it's been tough to be clear about. So, in my little notebook here, I wrote down all the different possibilities of like what I could potentially do. And next to each one, I wrote the pros and the cons list. On the pros, I rated it from 1 through 5 on level of like how important that thing was, and did the same with the cons, and then gave each pro and con section column an overall number. And it was really surprising to me what came out, because the thing that I have been applying for most as of recent, you know, like your typical job, had more cons than pros, and it was like one of the only ones. And I was just kind of like, seeing it for myself was very confronting, because I feel like we come to these crossroads in life where we need to decide what it is we really want out of life, and that this is the one life. What does it really look like for us, and can we maintain our boundaries and be consistent with what we want? It's just, I think the reason for myself that it has been so difficult is because I like many things. I've never been that like, oh, this is it. This is my one passion. I love dancing. Dancing is consistent in my life, always has been from the beginning. That is true. But in no way, I don't even have in here being a professional dancer at all, because I like free-form dancing. And I don't really see a need for free-form dancers other than like go-go dancers and things like this. I dance from the heart, like it's a soul dance. I'm dancing in a way that it's like speaking what I'm hearing. It's like a language, and it's a very spiritual experience for me. So I just have no like actual desire to figure out how I could make that a living other than just help people, you know, learn how to intuitively move themselves, which I am developing. And I tested it out on a friend of mine who struggles with movement, and she loved it and she got it. That was like, when I was seeing her, I was seeing her move and things, and I was like, wow, it's like she's getting it. That was like an aha moment, like I can teach this in a way that's understandable for people whom have been directed and guided through movement before and had not had that much success. So that was cool. But aside from that, the main passion that I have there, the one that has more pros than anything, is singing. And I love singing. It's almost on par with dancing, but I have a lot of resistance to the music industry and what it's like, and ideas of what it's like, and things, you know, you hear, and God, all we need is another documentary on the music industry, what it's done to musicians. And anyways, recently I have been reading up on Enya, and she has just managed to somehow be the exception. She is literally the exception. It's like she had her boundaries, made it about the music, somehow became ultra successful and famous, but never compromised her boundaries and values. And I'm just like, God, can we just see like all of her all over the music industry? If there is ever a time that I will come into the music industry, please let it be through that way, because she's just such an inspiration to me. And I obviously, much like most people I think, didn't know anything about her. You know, I liked her music from the past. Who doesn't? she amazes me. She amazes me how she remained in her integrity all these years. And, you know, it's inspiring to me because I'm like, well, shoot, if she can do it, I can do it. I am pretty stubborn when it comes to my personal boundaries. And so I think I could really make that for myself. It's a lot. It's a lot to start when you don't know where to begin. The difference there is that she was like born into music. Basically, her family were musicians. She started in her family band, that kind of thing. And I come from a musical family, but not like that. So it does a little bit feel like starting from scratch. And I'd love to. The main reason is because I just think that music is medicine and can be medicine and healing and all the things that I think it's truly meant to be. And I would love to share that. I would love to teach people, you know, that what they say in their music matters. The lyrics matter, your message matters, it all matters and shapes our consciousness and our reality and, you know, who we are, our character. And it's crucial, it's so vital, like it's not just entertainment. There is a gift in music that lights up more parts of the brain than anything else. And I don't think we should be ignoring that capability. Like, it needs to be respected and honored. I've got a lot of ideas right now running through my head, but that is on the top of the list right now because I saw it in black and white. I always knew that it was something that I'd thought about, but I didn't realize how much I had actually would like to take that route. And the other one that is second is being an author. And that one I have been writing a book on. That's fairly recent too. That's only in the last few months, but I'm actually doing that. You know, I'm like, I don't know, probably more than 80,000 words in. It's happening, which is great. It has less cons than the singing. And so I guess technically that makes it be the one that I should focus on most. And ironically, that is the one I'm focusing on most. I just wanted to share this method because I found it super helpful. Especially when you're at like a sort of a crossroads where I am. I am 36 and I have done so many things. I could not even list how many things I've done. I have tried life. Truly. I mean, I have been a doula, I've been a yoga teacher, I worked at a bank, I've been a model, I was a photographer on the Great Barrier Reef, I was a barista, I was a caterer, a promotional person, I've worked as an executive assistant, I've been a singer. I am well-rounded as an individual with life experience. And because I wanted to taste everything, it's like being in a buffet, you know, life is this big buffet and you can just like, oh, what's this and that and this, and that is how I felt about it this whole time, which is also why I've traveled so much. Like life is for, you know, absorbing and trying and being like, wow, all the things. But you know, in terms of like a passion for one thing, that's what I've struggled with because I love taste testing. I do. I just feel like I get so much out of it. I've grown so much through these experiences, so I don't regret any of it. And at the same time, I feel like I want to integrate all of this collective experience and really decide now for myself, what does this look like in terms of long-term career for the foreseeable future? And I have done all the personality tests that you can do. I have spent so much time with myself because I am voluntarily single and I know myself better than I've ever known myself due to it, which is fantastic. But it's coming down to just, I like a lot of things. And I'm not saying that I can't do multiple things at once, and reasonably, I think that I have no choice but to pursue multiple things at once. It's the how. How do you begin? How do you begin to do something that you don't even know where to start? And maybe you all have tips or suggestions, but I tend to sit on the side of things that are truly meant to happen will happen organically. I've got a bit of a short story. So one time in life, oh yeah, I was a nanny for a long time too. One time I worked with another nanny. She was 24 years old, and she goes to me one day, I have to tell somebody, I wrote a book. And I was like, it's like, yeah, and I'm sharing it to this girl's page that I follow. She reads people's stories, and maybe she'll tell people about my story. Long story short, the girl reads her story, tells her followers, and then like overnight, she had 40,000 people read her story and 4 or 5 different publishers coming at her to publish the first book she'd ever written. And in about 4 months' time, she had a hard copy best-selling book. And it was in Russian, so I don't have the name anymore. But my God, this story never left me, because it just was such an indication of things that are truly meant to be will organically align. And I 100% believe that that is living in the essence of trust that is life. And so I'm in such a crossroads place, going, I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know what to do. I'm doing all the things I can to figure out what that looks like for myself in a way that's not going to have me looking back on life going, did I really do what I wanted to do? Do I regret anything? And I'm really trusting that it will unfold in the way that it really is meant to unfold. I just wanted to share it because I know that so many of you can relate to this, about deciding what it is you should be doing and how do you come to that conclusion. And I think if you have a natural gift, you should share it. One of mine is singing, so I'm gonna share it. And regardless if anything happens with that or not, I think it's important to share it. And I'm going to advocate for being intentional with your lyrics and your words, because I do believe it is vital and important to our subconscious mind and our conscious mind for the messages that we bring forth out into the world. I'm not going to say much about the book I'm writing. It's half based on reality and half based on fiction. I'm just blending my life into a fictional story. But enjoy the process and try all the things and get to know yourself. Spend time with yourself. Just sit with it. Try seeing it in black and white and see what actually outweighs other things. Just wanted to share and be open about my process. I needed to voice it to myself. I needed to have other people witness it. So maybe some of that helps in some way for you. I don't know. But try that method. I'm telling you, I feel good about that method. It was self-confronting, and I needed that. I needed to just see it. So that's it for tonight, and I hope you have a great evening. Bye.